Chad with New England Homesteaders here. I know it has been a really long time since I uploaded a video. I have shot many videos, I just have had no time to edit and get them posted. So I figured this morning I would shoot one and try to get it up this weekend. It is Saturday, August 25th, I think. And I probably posted the last video sometime in like May. But it's been a crazy summer. We're in the middle of moving. If any of you have gone back and watched some of the early videos, we set a date of June 23rd to move in here to the homestead, and we almost made it. We got in here around June 30th with the goats, and then the sheep came the next weekend, and the chicks shortly after that, and we even have a pair of rabbits. So I figured I'd give you an update video. This might be a little bit longer video than normal because I want to just give you an update on everything that's going on, what we've accomplished so far. We still have a lot to do, and I still have a couple more weeks of just insanity trying to get the stuff moved out of the house, get everything updated, painted to get it on the market. But I'll take you with me on my morning chores. Let's go see what's going on. So usually in the morning when I come out here, we've got some meat birds that have escaped from, nobody's out this morning. So this is 1/3 of the meat birds. We've got 150 of them, and a couple weeks ago they literally had almost doubled in size in that week. So I took 2/3 of them and moved them out there on the chicken tractor. We'll go take a look. But it was an interesting experiment because the 100 that I moved out there eat about 30% less and drink 50% less than these guys. These guys go through about 10 gallons of water a day. These are some bucket waters that I put together myself with a $1 bucket and some nipples that we got from Amazon and some Teflon tape, and it's worked perfectly. But these guys are coming up on 7 weeks old. I'm going to slow their feeding down just a little bit and actually move these guys out on pasture this weekend. There are some escapees. Here they are. Look at them. Have to throw you guys back in. So they're not super fast runners. We can catch them. But now, let's have the running of the chickens. So we've got about 60 chicks in here. We have our 9. We ended up losing one of our layers. So we've got 9 in here that are still laying eggs. And then we've got about 50 that we got just a week or two before the meat birds. So that's a good mix of barred rocks, Americanas, llamas, and Australorps. And we have one big rooster, Big Papa, that we adopted to take care of the ladies and protect them and be sort of a watchdog. So he's working out great. Let's take a look. So here's Big Papa. Good morning, Big Papa. Why don't you tell everybody it's morning? So if you take a look here, we've got a good mix of Brahmas, barred rocks, there's barred rock roosters, there's probably almost 10 roosters in this mix. And then we have 3 Americana roosters. Here's one of the Americana roosters right here. You can tell by his green feet, looks like an eagle. He's hungry, so he's he's gonna go invade the meat birds. Here's a barred rock rooster. What are you doing? I'll feed you in a second. Here's our girl Athena. We put bands on the ones. Big Papa's gonna go try to get busy. So I'm actually gonna hatch some chicks here in September. I'm really interested to see what we get from a black copper Moran mixed with these Isa Browns or barred rocks or Brahmas. Or the Americana we have. Should be pretty interesting. Alright, let's... I don't know what's going on over here. Mr. Americana. And they get picked on when they come out here, so they come out looking for food. We'll have to get him back in. I'm gonna give these guys some food. These meat birds are heading into week 6 or 7. I'll have to look. I think heading into week 7. And they're eating about 60 pounds of food a day. Which is just craziness. But you watch, they're like piranhas. There's somebody trying to get away. Alright, and then actually just fill this water up to come back and do that. It's still about half full. And these guys, I give these guys about 2 or 3 scoops of food. They're just getting the regular layer feed. And then I add in some, that one's trying to eat a feather. How's that taste? Not really a food product. These guys are scrounging. Let's usually give these guys some scratch feed too. Here, let's do that real quick. But I noticed when I gave all these layer chickens access to the compost pile out here, where we've been dumping the hay and weeds from the garden, that they started eating about 30% less food. So let's grab... Got this little shed set up here that we got at Job Lot. And we got some oyster shells and grit. And now you watch, Big Papa's gonna call everybody over here. Usually if he hears this. It's like the Pied Piper. Here's Big Papa. This is his little dance, and he calls all the girls to tell them to come get some food. So we've got 6 Australorps there. You can see the black ones. All these light colored barred rocks are roosters. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think there's 10 roosters. And you can see there's a darker one right here, which is a hen. And she's right there. That's a hen. These are a couple of our original Isa Browns that are now over 2 years old, and they are still laying about an egg a day. We probably get about 6 eggs a day. There's Buffy, our big Brahma. And then here's some little Buffies right here. And we have 3 Brahma roosters, but we haven't figured out which ones they are. Maybe that one there. That one looks bigger than the others, maybe. And then it's very interesting. The Americana roosters look very similar to the Brahmas, but they have green feet. So there's one right there. I don't know if I can get a shot of their green feet. Hey, there we go. Oh, there was a peek. No, that one's got furry feet. There's one right there. Let's see. That one. You can see the green feet there. So we've got 3 of those. So I ordered 2 Brahma roosters and 2 Americana roosters because I wanted to be sure that we got a rooster in case one died, but they sent an extra. So we've got 3 Americanas and 3 Brahmas. And the mix of chicks that we got from Bobby and Shannon over there at Quarry View Farm, we've got about 10 barred rock roosters. So September 15th is the day we're going to be processing all of the meat birds, and we're probably going to do most of these roosters at the same time if they're big enough. These obviously are still growing, so we'll wait on them. There's Big Papa doing his little dance, trying to wrangle the ladies. Trying to get busy first thing. There's Percy. There's our Americana that we had. One that we actually hatched. One of our broody hens that we sat on. She sat on some eggs that we got from Quarry View Farm back last year. So Percy's doing alright. She's going to have some buddies. So we banded her and Buffy and Athena. Since we're going to have additional chicks of their breed, we wanted to be sure we could keep them separate. So that's about it for the chickens. You look over my shoulder, the garden has gone just gangbusters. Definitely neglected it because of time, and we had a lot of weeds grow up out of this cow manure. Some beautiful flower patch kind of out in the middle, all the lettuce and kale, the corn is just going crazy. We've gotten so many cucumbers and zucchinis and beans. The tomatoes, we had so much rain, we literally probably got, I bet, over a foot of rain during the month of July probably. And I think the tomatoes just couldn't handle it. A blight set in or something and wiped most of them out. My whole patch of potatoes kind of there in the middle got whacked by some potato beetles. We planted 4 more big strains or lines of potatoes here. These are all Maine potatoes. And they're doing a little bit better. We dug up all the potatoes from the middle patch. They were all red, white, and blue potatoes from a company up in Maine. Really cool. So we harvested those. Those were all small, new potatoes they call. And they've been delicious. But you'll see also, look at this. We broadcasted turnips and radishes everywhere. And here's an absolute giant turnip. I'm not sure if you can see it down in there. But those are everywhere, just kind of helping build the soil. So all my hard work back in the spring with seeding the pasture, fertilizing and liming, all paid off, and it came in really well, and we've been able to graze the sheep. I'll go introduce you to the sheep and the goats in there. And then here's our chicken shelter that we made. Basically just bent EMT tubing with a bender that we got at Lowe's or Home Depot. Big Papa doing his dance again. And we used some pressure treated runs along the side and screwed these blocks on through the holes of the tarp to help hold it down, and then also use zip ties going up the side. This has been awesome. It's anchored into the ground with these rebar pipes or rebar posts. We haven't had any issues. I'm gonna hopefully get a front put on it so that we can keep the snow out. I misjudged when I did my geometry and my measurements. I thought we'd be able to get it to sit over the top of the chicken coop you can see back there. So I got to figure that out didn't quite work. These are 3 10-foot posts. So we've got a 30-foot run up and over the perimeter. And it's about 18 or 19 feet wide, I think. I thought it was going to be wider. And then it would have fit over the top of that. Here are my son's rabbits. Jackson is breeding rabbits. This is Oakley. How you doing this morning, Oakley? And then there is Aspen hiding in there. Not sure if you can see her. We're going to breed them probably in the next couple of weeks, so we'll have a litter of rabbits as well. All right, let's go take a look at the goats. So back on, I think it was June 30th, we got our goats. We've got 4 Nubian goats. They're quadruplets. I'll introduce you to them. And then first week of July, we went and picked up the sheep. I got a whole crazy video on picking up the sheep. And then the following week, or 2 weeks later, I guess, Eve brought down our 3 lambs that weren't quite ready to be weaned from their mom yet. So we have 2 ewe lambs and we have a meat lamb. And the meat lamb is going to go to freezer camp in November. That's going to be the first animal that we harvest after the meat birds. And I got to tell you, it's going to be hard. He's friendly, he's cute.